All right, welcome to lesson 20. We have learned about adding and subtracting with like units, and now we're going to work on subtracting fractions from whole numbers. So that is our key question. How can we subtract a fraction from a whole number? Well, the first thing is we need our units to be consistent. So let's look at this example. If we have 1 minus 2/8, the problem here is that our unit is not the same. Now, it would be difficult to change 2/8 to a whole number because it's less than a whole number, but it's not difficult to change 1 to the same unit as our fraction. We can change our whole number 1 into eighths because we know that 1 is equivalent to 8/8. So we could say that 1 is equivalent to 8/8, and then we can subtract. So 8/8 minus 2/8 is 6/8. Therefore, 1 minus 2/8 is 6/8. All right? And we can represent this on a number line. This looks a little blurry to me. Does it look blurry to you? Let's see here. I don't know. I guess it shouldn't be. Maybe we should zoom in a little. I don't know. It still looks a little fuzzy. Well, I think we'll be okay. All right. So we could also put it on a number line. So I know that I'm working between the whole numbers 0 and 1. And I'm going to go ahead and rename 1 as 8/8. So I'll partition. When I'm partitioning to eighths, I usually do half, then fourths, then eighths. So 1 or 8/8 minus 2/8 will get us to 6/8. Okay, great. So you go ahead and try this out. So I want you to do 1 minus 2/10 and use a number line as well. And then 1 minus 4/12. So something to remember is your unit here is going to need to be tenths. Your unit here is going to need to be twelfths. So go ahead, try it out, and then come back and we can check together, all right? Okay, so let's check this out. Hopefully you realized or remembered that 1 is equivalent to 10/10. So you partitioned your number line into tenths. You moved back 2 units or 2/10, and you got the result of 8/10. All right, so I want to show you the partitioning for twelfths. All right, so I know that 1 is going to be equivalent to 12/12. So I know I'm operating between 0 and 1. So I'm going to partition to half first. That's going to be 6/12. Okay, and then I can do each of these into thirds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me to sixths, and then I can partition each of those in half. So I have my twelfths. So 12/12 minus 4/12. So I'm moving back 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not subtracting 4, I'm subtracting 4/12. And so my result will be 8/12. Hopefully that is also what you got. Okay. So another way we can do this is with a number bond. So let's say that we have a number greater than 1, right? We are decomposing 2 or more to subtract. So I know here I can decompose 2 into 1, and then the unit that I'm subtracting is eighths, so 8 eighths. So 8 eighths is equal to 1, and 1, so that together is 2. So on my number line, when I want to show this, I'm going to actually put my number line between 1 and 2, because I know that my result is going to be greater than 1, less than 2. So I need to partition this into eighths, so I could do half, and then fourths, and then eighths. So I can start at 2, and I can move back 3 units, or 3 eighths, so 1, 2, 3. And I see that my result is 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. So 1 and 5 eighths. I also know that 2 is equivalent to 16 eighths. So I could say that it's 15, 14, 13 eighths. I could have my fraction greater than 1. Right? So either way works. But 2 minus 3 eighths is equal to 1 and 5 eighths. Right? So you try it out. Decompose 2, 3, 5 in order to subtract. And remember, in these two cases, your unit is tenths. In this case, it's twelfths. So go ahead, pause the video, try it out, and come back here to check. Okay. So let's do a quick check-in just about decomposition. So you should have decomposed 2 here into 1 and then 10 tenths, because you're going to be subtracting a fraction that's less than 1. So you know your result is going to be between 1 and 2, and you're going to be subtracting in this fractional unit of tenths. Okay, here you're subtracting a fraction that's less than 1, so you should have decomposed 3 into 2 and then 10 tenths. You know your result will be between 2 and 3. And then here we should have decomposed 5 into 4 and then 12 twelfths, because we know our result will be between 4 and 5. In each case, we're subtracting a fraction less than 1. We know that because our numerator is less than our denominator. So if you did not decompose your numbers like this, go ahead and pause the video and try that, and then you can come back in a few moments to see the number lines and the solutions. All right, so just make sure you've got that decomposing settled. All right, so check it out. We know here that we're going to be starting at 2 and subtracting 7 tenths. So our result is going to be between 1 and 2. So if we go back from 2, which is the same as 1 and 10 tenths, all right, and go back 7 tenths, we end up at 1 and 3 tenths. All right. Here, we're starting at 3, which is the same as 2 and 10 tenths, right? Moving back 7 tenths, and our result is 2 and 3 tenths. And then here, we're starting at 5, which is the same as 4 and 12 twelfths. We're subtracting 8 twelfths, and so our result is 4 and 4 twelfths. All right, so happy practicing. Enjoy Check in with teammates, check in with teachers if you need help, and I will see you next time for lesson 21.